So let's start by bringing some awareness to our physical posture, settling the body in a stable, comfortable, upright position, serviceable for meditation. So we keep our feet flat on the ground. We think mainly about keeping the back straight, the torso open, trying not to rely on the backrest and trying not to slouch or to lean forward or to the sides. Our hands are in our lap right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. And our eyes are gently closed or slightly open. Then briefly scan through the body and try to let go of any places where you're holding unnecessary tension. Allowing the body to relax into this posture without rigidity. Relying on the frame of the body and just hanging the body on itself. Then bring your attention inward, away from the outside world, letting go of sights and sounds, in the room around you, letting go of thoughts of the past or plans for the future. Attending to the physical sensations that accompany the in-breath and the out-breath, in the space around the nostrils, and trying to notice as quickly as possible when the mind has moved to something that isn't that present moment physical sensation, noticing the arising of distraction and gently lifting your attention without judgment or frustration, placing it again and again on that present moment physical sensation. And then establish an altruistic motivation, thinking about your own goals for spiritual growth and development, and how meeting those goals isn't only a benefit to oneself, but is a benefit to all others. Thinking of wanting to be of benefit to others, thinking of wanting to completely awaken your potential, to be of the highest and greatest benefit to all sentient beings without exception. So today we'll continue with the meditation on equalizing and exchanging self cherishing for other cherishing, the second method of developing the aspiration to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So we covered through the disadvantages of the self cherishing mind in Friday's class. And now we'll focus on seeing the benefits of the mind that cherishes others. So, in terms of making our life deeply meaningful, we can see how if we are able to develop the attitude that I myself will free sentient beings from suffering, if that can become our baseline state, then every action that we engage in will be motivated by that wish. Every activity will become a service to sentient beings, and they'll be motivated by the highest, most sublime aspiration. Lama Zopa points out that we ourselves wish for all others to be compassionate and loving, to be supportive, to be helpful. And every other sentient being also feels exactly the same way. Every sentient being wants us to help them. And that field of other sentient beings is nearly infinite, whereas we are just a single sentient being. Shantideva quotes the Buddha, who said that the field of sentient beings is similar to a Buddha field, for many who have pleased them have thereby reached perfection. He goes on to say, if I do not actually exchange my happiness for the suffering of others, then I shall not attain the state of Buddhahood. So try to see how this process of exchanging our narrow self preoccupation with a mind that cherishes limitless sentient beings is something that transforms our lives into something incredibly and deeply meaningful. And it's the actual vehicle where even our own wishes, our own aims, are ultimately also accomplished. Try to follow these reasonings until that insight is strong in the mind, and then hold your mind there. And then try to feel, on the basis of understanding the equality of oneself with all sentient beings, the disadvantages of self preoccupation, the advantages of cherishing others. On the basis of these insights, that you'll practice generating great love and great compassion using the method of giving and taking, the Tonglen Meditation. So start by imagining 2 or 3 people that you feel close to. Imagine that they're seated in front of you. But try to think of obstacles that they may be facing, physical or mental obstacles, things that cause them some distress. And imagine that these sufferings are manifesting in the nature of like a dark fog surrounding each of these dear ones. Try to generate in the mind a strong, compassionate wish to relieve them of their suffering, to take on that suffering yourself. Imagine that due to the force of that compassionate intention, you start to draw off that dark fog. And then in the heart center of your own body, visualize a dark seed that represents the mind of self-cherishing, the mind of affliction and delusion. And imagine that this dark fog is beginning to funnel and be drawn faster and faster, being absorbed into this dark seed, which becomes more and more dense. that dark seed implodes and is replaced by a larger orb of golden white light that represents your Buddha potential. Imagine that you send out light rays from that orb to those people in front, not only having eliminated their suffering, but now providing them with all temporary and ultimate happiness, up to and including the happiness of the state of enlightenment. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. Then we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation. Think that you've put a lot of energy and effort into actualizing your motivation. You've created a lot of positive energy, Then just have a sense of giving that energy away, offering it for the benefit of all sentient beings, without exception. Thinking very strongly, may whatever positive energy I have created ripen in whatever way sentient beings need, now and in the future. May it serve as a cause for me to realize bodhicitta, and on the basis of realizing bodhicitta, to achieve full enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. And may it pacify all hindrances to the Guru's long life. May all of our spiritual guides continue to manifest in the world and teach and guide and protect me and all sentient beings until our swift enlightenment. Thank you.
Good.